me the way you wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.
Good Wednesday evening to everyone. How are you doing? My name is Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels. Just a little bit of a warning. I don't know if it has to do with Ian. I don't know what it is, but my computer is not participating very well. It's being a naughty computer. So that's if we drop off the face of the earth, well, you know why. Speaking of Ian, we're going to start our show with this. Our great friends at the Veterans Ranch are right in the path of this monster that has hit land, and right now is about the time when they're starting to get pummeled. Community Pay It Forward, our partners, our friends, and our supporters want to say, first and foremost, we love you all. You're in our thoughts. You're in our prayers. You're in our minds. Please, please, please make sure before you go to bed tonight, however you do it, however you think, however your spirit leads you, please make sure that you shut your eyes and you send love to them, because in Florida, folks, this isn't a windy day. This is this is something that is doing some damage. We are going to be playing a report that I got just a little over an hour ago from our good friend Jay. We've been running some stuff. I know that everybody's heard that you guys have seen some of the stuff that we've been putting out there. I want to thank JR from the Veterans Ranch for helping us put out all this information and making sure that people understand where they're at. Before we do this, though, I do want to say this, okay? First and foremost, you see this right over my shoulder. The Veterans Ranch hurricane relief is going to be happening here as soon as this storm stops. It's not going to be pretty. One more time, as I've already said, JR has he's already sent us a message saying, you know what, I've already got pieces of my fence, and it hasn't even started. It was on the very tip. It hadn't even started, and he's already got stuff flying. They're already out of things like plywood. They're out of tarps. They're out of drinking water. They're out of all this stuff, because we know. Let's equate it back to when COVID started. The panic system, and I'm just going to say it, and the selfish system of the way that things are. People are hoarding a bunch of stuff and keeping it for themselves. I understand self-preservation, but you don't need 15 cases of water for, 3 or 4 days. Make sure that we share this amongst each other. Make sure that it's out there to help other people as well. JR, the Veterans Ranch, and all of his volunteers are doing something incredible. They already went out and they already tried to help some of our elderly veterans prepare for this storm. They already helped board up some windows. They already helped do some wonderful, wonderful things. They did what they can do. Now what they're going to do is, as soon as the storm is over, they're going to try to be there to help out these elderly veterans, World War II, Korea, and even elderly Vietnam vets dig their way out. As a guy who's been through tornadoes, and I've been through plenty of tornadoes in my life, that's like 30 seconds of hell that'll tear things apart. Okay. I watched recently as as recent as I believe it was like 10 years ago, as a tornado ripped through Windsor, which neighbors us, and just demolished farms and stuff like that. And the whole storm lasted for about 30 minutes from beginning to end. And it did multi millions of dollars of damage. This storm is supposed to start in the south of Florida. It has started in Cuba, destroyed villages in Cuba, and now is in Florida, and it's just it's raking a path of havoc everywhere. They need your help, because when they start cleaning this up, they're going to need your help to buy the equipment. They need you to send equipment if you got it, extra chainsaw blades, because as JR puts it, they're not going to have time to take and sharpen each tooth anymore. It's going to be rip and rip, rip through something, throw it over your, rip through another chain, add another chain, rip and go, rip and go. There's a lot of work that's going to need to be done, folks. This thing is not small. The last check I saw, and please forgive me, I didn't have time to look again, but it was 150 mile an hour winds, 150 mile per hour winds. Here in Colorado, quite frequently, we have 37, 38 mile per hour winds. I'm a fat guy, and those push me around. 150. I can't even imagine what that's going to be like on top of the rain. There are huge possibilities for flooding. The damage is going to be extensive. We need to wake up to this fact, and we need to wake up to the fact that there are going to be people out there who need our help. You can support Veterans Ranch and what they're doing, the hurricane relief program they're going to be doing. There are 3 ways that you can help us help them. The first is our little friend here, okay, our QR code. You go to this QR code, you shop with any of our wonderful, fantastic partners. You upload, and we love saying it, it's click, pick, or I'm sorry, shop, click, and pick. Shop with one of our partners, click a picture of the proof of purchase, and pick your cause. Right now, we're going to say this is a great cause, because once you take and you donate to this little QR code right here, you take and you shop with one of our partners, you put the proof of purchase right there on it. Guess what? Those stores have already dedicated a portion of sales to go to help a cause. This will help JR get the equipment that they need, the new, whatever they're going to need, the chainsaws, the shovels, the cardboard, the plywood when it comes back in, candles, water, generators, stuff to help them out. Please, 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 please shop with our partners and consider giving your receipt up for the Veterans Ranch hurricane relief. Another way that you can donate is right now on the bottom. You can see it to where it's scrolling. If you want to donate money to this cause, please send it directly to them. Community Pay It Forward wants them to get every penny that they have. So to make sure it's all accounted, to make sure everything goes the way it's supposed to go, to where there's not fees back and forth, go to givesendgo.com, givesendgo.com/Veterans Ranch. Donate $1, donate 10, donate 20, donate 100, whatever you got. As JR loves to say, do you give $1? Right now is the time to give $1. So please, please consider going to www.givesendgo.com/the Veterans Ranch. There's a third way that you can help us help them, and that's by donating to Community Dare to Care. You do that by going to this job form right here. And this job form, if you need it, simply reach out to me right here on my link tree, Zach Clayton link tree at or go to linktree.com, find Zach Clayton. It's got all my information on it. Say, hey Zach, can I get your QR? Can I get your form? I'll send you the form. But right here is this form. I will put it also in the. I'll also put it in the chat so people have it. But this form is going to help us to be able to send clothing, send toys, send dishes, housewares, other stuff that we have, medical equipment. God forbid they need it, but if they do, let's make sure that we get it to them. A donation to this, and it's now in the chat. Well, it's okay. Now it's in the chat. A donation to this link, this jot form, is going to help us send clothing and more to the victims of this hurricane. Once again, QR code is to help by participating in the Community Pay It Forward program. You want to give JR, the Veterans Ranch, cash to help with the hurricane relief? Right down here, givesendgo.com, the Veterans Ranch. And if you want to help us send clothing, send furniture, send more, Community Dare to Care asks you to go to this jot form. It's right there already in the comments. Simply visit those, fill out that jot form, send us whatever you can so we can send boxes of clothing and more. All right. We are now I'm going to share this screen so you can hear update. And this was from JR just about an hour ago, maybe a little over an hour ago. So please understand the video is very choppy. They're in the middle of a storm. It's a very, very short video, but JR was taking care of himself. But this is JR from the Veterans Ranch giving you an update. Once again, this was about an hour and a half ago. So please, please, please make sure you donate where you can.
Sections of fence come down already. Snap. All right, here's a recent update. We're picking up, rain's picking up, and I had 2 sections of fence come down already. Snapped a pole right in the middle and strapped the third one to a tree right there so it didn't keep pulling everything down. Just had to go put a bunch of nails in. So, small stuff down already. That's about it right now. All right, here's a recent update. Winds are.
That's just one thing. You can see, you can hear, you can feel. JR is not a man who, and I don't want to say fear. I don't want to say portrays fear very easily. He's a wonderful guy. He's very, very strong. He does not show a lot of fear. You can tell the concern in his face. You can tell the concern in his voice. Here's another 21-second information that he sent us. So let's check this out as well. Please, once again, please forgive the choppiness.
Please push the Give, Send, Go page. So far, outside of the 2 $25 donations, nobody's donated. I have gone live, I don't know how many times with updates on this. I just don't know if it's the crowd or the lack of crowd I'm hitting or what. But givesendgo.com/the Veterans Ranch. Thanks, brother.
Again, I'm going to beg you again. You guys just heard $50 has been donated. That's it. $50. Let's come together on this. This is our country this is part of Florida that's being destroyed. This is no joke. Okay? Let's be honest here. Stuff like this happens overseas. People are clamoring to help out. Let's help out Florida. JR and the Veterans Ranch, what they are going to do is they are going to take and they are going to help elderly veterans, shut-in veterans. And he even said it in a video earlier today. If he sees somebody else out there who's hurting, he's going to help them out too. Their main focus is veterans. It's what they do. But he's not going to let anybody hurt. Let's help him make sure other people aren't hurting. So please, $50. We need to get 50. We need to give $50 more every minute for the rest of this program. So please donate right down here. The scrolling on the bottom, www.givesendgo.com/the Veterans Ranch. I'm going to leave that scrolling the whole show. Please make sure, I beg you, go there. Donate whatever you can. www.givesendgo.com. Help JR, help others once this storm is over. You can help them through the Community Pay It Forward program by going right here. Make a purchase, shop, click and pick, click a picture of the proof of purchase, pick the cause that you wish to support. Let's, look, I'm not going to tell you every single one of the missions that we support are very important. Today, let's we're really try to help the people here in Florida. The one that's right below me, the donate to Community Dare to Care, anything that you donate there is going to go to get items sent to Florida, clothes, housewares, whatever. We're going to take and we'll send our donation dins to them. You help us, we're going to get clothing and more stuff to them. So please help us out. Again, to all of our friends in Florida, our thoughts, our love is sent to you. Please continue to be strong, continue to be safe. Our first video of the day is from great friend of mine, brother of mine. I mean, I cannot say enough about him. By the way, you're also going to see this QR code. It's going to be there on all the time today. So you have both of the ways. Let me see if I can do this. Wrong fingers. Okay. So you have the cash donations right here that go straight to JR, and you have the way to help them through the Community Pay It Forward program right here. Okay. 2 ways to help them. The first video that I'm going to be playing for you today is a great friend of mine, a great brother of mine. He and I are doing some things that, well, we think are wonderful. What do you think? Because, we can think everything's wonderful, but it's up to you to really tell us what you think. One of the things that we're doing is we're asking people to please come with us. October 26th of every year is Day of the Deployed. Day of the Deployed. And this is where we show the kids that are overseas our love, our respect. What we're asking you to do is put together a box to send to somebody who's deployed. If you know somebody out there who is deployed, get us their contact information. And what we want to do is we want to send boxes to these kids who are overseas away from their family. What do you put in these boxes? Anything from comfort foods to socks, to underwear, to whatever. Toilet paper. I don't know how many times I've heard from veterans that, this toilet paper is not the most friendly stuff in the world. So, send them toilet paper, send them whatever you can, just help them out. So, like I said, this is it's really one of those things that we're just wanting people to help us out, and coming along and supporting our kids who are deployed. So please, join us. We're going to be putting that together. It's going to be launched off on Monday, but consider putting together a box for Day of the Deployed, which is October 26th. October 26th, if you need an address, contact us. And we're hoping that we have enough addresses to where we can send these boxes, send this love to people, to our kids who have been deployed. This is an interview I did with my great friend, my brother, Mr. Z. He's the one who built our website. He's the one who helps me. Without him, this company would be way further behind than I am now. So this man to me is a hero. He's like I said, he's one of my very best friends. He's as far as I'm concerned, he's a bright shining beacon in a world that's sometimes a little dark. So this is my brother, Mr. Z, talking about everything that we've got going on and telling you a little bit about what they do at Z World Webs. Enjoy this as much as I hope you enjoy this as much as I enjoyed doing it. So thank you. Here's Mr. Z. We are back, and I am very, very excited to finally have wrangled this guy. Let's put it this way: he and I talk at least 2 times a week, and we just can never get together on recording his video because we've always got so much other stuff going on. But before we continue, Z and I want to make sure that we show our love, our thoughts, and everything to everyone in Florida.
Yes.
Um, please, please, please make sure that you are safe before you go out. And what's the old saying, Z, about take care and take care of yourself. You know, if
Uh,
yeah,
I believe just if you help out others, it'll come back to you some way, one shape of one
well,
another.
yeah, but it's also, if you're not there, you can't take care of others. So make sure that you're safe. I know
Right.
that you guys just heard a message from our great friend J.R. Smith. Um, things are getting real there, folks. They really are. They're getting real there. So please, please, please make sure that you keep them in your thoughts. You say a prayer, whatever you're comfortable doing. Please make sure that you do that. But we, as we always say, nobody has to go through any of these situations alone. When we all come together, we also want to give our thoughts and our deep condolences to all the damage and all the loss in Cuba.
Yeah.
Although they're not quote unquote an American ally, they are humans, and
Yes.
and the devastating losses of some of those people. It's going to take them. It's going to take them forever to build because they had nothing to begin with. So, if you guys know any humanitarians who are heading down there, please get a hold of us and we can take and gather up some clothing and more stuff to take and send down to them because you know, Z, I know you agree with this. There's only one race in this country, in this world, and that's the human race. So,
Darn straight.
so let's make sure that we take care of everybody. So, but again, Florida, your thoughts, our thoughts are with you. Your thoughts are with me.
Yes. Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
don't know why their thoughts would be with me. Their thoughts are, oh my God, watch out, there's a tree coming. But yeah, so Mr. Z, brother man, how are you?
Mr. Zach, I feel very lucky right now to be here upon your presence. And my heart always goes out to everybody here in this planet, or Z world, as I say sometimes, especially towards those in Florida right now. I have a few friends, family, and clients, as we both do, that are in Florida. So stay stay safe. Make sure you help your neighbors, yourself, because if you're not helping yourself, you can't help out others. That's the quote that I was looking for.
Yep.
And if for all of you that's being here today, thank you for having me, brother man.
Well, uh, all I know is that, like I said, this is one of those things I had been looking forward to this moment for a long time. You have become such an integral part of what we are doing with Community Pay It Forward. And there is so much stuff that wouldn't be what it is without your help. Let's start from the beginning, shall we? When you were a wee lad, um, what got you into doing websites and coding and all that stuff?
Well, it all happened by accident, but it's a long, boring story. But I do want to mention, yes, this is a conversation that has been the making. I'm very happy to be here. I just had a passion for building things that people can use on a daily basis, and uh, I may I may be an old man right now, but I feel young at heart. Speaking like young people like yourselves and our audience that are listening, and my passions really come from making sure that everybody not only has a website, but also feels like they're in control of their own website. There's no worst feeling than having someone say, "Hey, I can build you a website. I can get you the number one search results on Google. All we ask is a 50% deposit of $10,000. And don't worry about it. Don't contact us. We'll contact you." And it's very common in my industry. And I want to stop. I want to break this cycle of people feeling in the dark, I guess, of how websites work. So I want to expose the truth and make them feel empowered, or anyone that has a website, particularly nonprofits, whether it comes down to registering a domain name or even if they have a website. It's very important for them to feel like they're in control of their website, whether it's making a few changes, updating their bios, images, or more importantly, making sure their website is ADA compliant. And I'm sure you, Zach, know a lot about ADA compliance, and our dear friend and another verified partner, Trevor Gibbs. ADA is short for the Americans with Disabilities Act, which was passed by George H.W. Bush of July of 1990. And I want to just let everybody know that the Community Pay It Forward website is ADA compliant through the guidance of Zach's understanding of the differently abled communities and the disability communities, so that everybody has the equal rights to visit their website, whether they are visually, hearing, or motor impaired for any reason. So a little bit about ADA compliance. If your website is not ADA compliant, chances are you'll not only alienate those who are living with legitimate disabilities or differently ways of living, but there is a slight chance that one of these sharks or these people will try to sue you, whether you know the law or not. And as you know this, Zach, ignorance is not going to hold up in the court of law.
No, it's not.
It's and some people might think, do you hear yourself? Do you
Yeah.
understand what ADA
Do you hear
compliance?
what you're saying? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's those people that just refuse to acknowledge that there are people like us who want to help out those who are less fortunate or being in a situation where it happened by birth or by chance. And of course, if your website is not ADA compliant, it goes back to your chances of perhaps getting sued for a small fee of $57,000 to $79,000, and that's just for your first offense. After your second or third, you may just have to take out a loan from those banks, with those interests of paying off lawyer fees and court fees and your time that you're never going to get back. So it's important to be ADA compliant. So that's where my passion comes from in terms of web development.
You're you said that you like to create things. Did that start? And the reason I asked this is because it was one of those things that it used to drive me crazy.
Hmm.
My kids watching like oh are playing that game where everything's cubes. What is it? Minecraft.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was way
Was it
off.
was it games like that, or was it stuff like that that really kind of got you into like my oldest son, he got into the Japanese culture because of like cartoons and everything, and it seems to me like you know yeah. Oh, by the way, old people like you, shut up.
Yeah, well.
So It
Don't like
seems
that.
to me, yeah, it seems to me like the younger generations started using culture type items such as like I said, comic books, cartoons, art.
Yeah.
You guys started using stuff as inspiration. Did you have anything like that you really started with?
Uh, I don't want to sound cliche, and I'm sure you've heard this many times. It just sort of dawned on me that my chances of being alive is 1 to 10 trillion, and I'm not going to live forever. So I may as well leave something behind as my way of saying thank you, the universe or the creator, whatever you want to call it, as my way of saying thanks and being able to make an impact on those who thought there were no options available. So just having that website available, if it could last a lifetime, wonderful. Of course, you should update your website every 2 to 3 years, depending on the industry, but it's always a good rule of thumb, 2 to 3 years. But my passion just comes down to leaving a legacy. My father had once said, anyone can build a business, but not everyone can make a legacy or leave a legacy in that case.
You know, that's a such a great statement
Thanks.
because I always tell people all the time, look, I don't care if there's a single person on earth that when I pass away that knows the name Zach Clayton,
Hmm.
but I want to make sure that everybody knows the name Community Pay It Forward, because that is so much bigger than you know let's be honest here, that's so much bigger than any of us, and all of us put together we can do this, but it's going to take every single one of us doing our part to make this work. So I don't care if my name is ever brought up with the company, because it's about doing working together for and I have to say it because it's one of my favorite lines in movies of all time: for the greater good. And I don't know if you've ever seen Shaun of the Dead, but one of my favorite movies, the greater good. So anyway, but
Not
um
a movie guy, so don't feel bad if I don't know. There's lots of people that probably seen it, but
oh yeah, so
I'm very uncultured.
well, let me tell you something, brother. I know your sense of humor. You got to check out Shaun of the Dead.
Okay.
Got to check it out. So, um, I wanted to bring this up. We were just talking about ADA compliance, and we're going to kind of show people a little bit about the ADA compliance here in a minute. But I just pulled something up, and I want to share this with people right now because I think this is very telling, and that is there are 61 million adults in
Wow.
America who have disabilities. 61 million. And the reason I'm bringing this up, out of those 61 million adults in the United States, how many potential customers alone?
Hmm.
This isn't just being a good human being and making sure that your website is accessible by all. Out of those 61 million adults, how many people are you risking to not be able to visit your see your website or visit your website because say it's got the motion that they can't say it's the font is too small or too put together or too close together or the lights flashing or whatever
Yeah,
it is. There are so many different disabilities that people don't think of, right?
that's true. 100%.
And the way that you create ADA compliance is very, very smart. And we're going to pull up
Thanks.
we're gonna pull up a website that I know a little something about, that Mr. Z created, some character named Mr. Z created, and this is the Community Pay It Forward. uh oh, we've still got a word in there we need to get rid of. I
Oh,
just noticed that.
there it is.
So But I want to show you this right down here. You have this little icon. We're
Mhm.
all familiar with that icon because it's all over the place. Okay, but you click on this icon and look at all of these different things that why don't you go on ahead and help me out, Mr. Z, and explain what every single one of them does?
Absolutely. Well, the contrast will be helpful for those who are visually impaired, and I'm sure it might be helpful for those who are colorblind, have a higher sense of vision. And I do want to emphasize there are different options that may not cater to everybody, but it's catered to those who would benefit from these options, such as increasing the size of the text. I mean, the number one complaint that most people get is the text is too small, or maybe they're using a really big screen that their grandkids or their parents got them, but the screen is so small on their end. But now having that option without having to zoom in and lose your place, it's all there. And supposedly, there's a dyslexia, can't say it properly, dyslexia option where supposedly it's catered to those who suffer from dyslexia. So if anyone in the audience wants to confirm this is helpful, or anonymously, of course, would want to, nothing to be ashamed of, my apologies. I think it's just a good tool to have. But of course, I do want to give a disclaimer that this one button is not a one size, solution oriented mindset. I mean, if you are building a website, and your current developer should know this, it's always a good idea to keep ADA compliance from the ground up when you're building a new website. So it's like if you're looking to build a new house, think about the ramps, the wheelchair ramps. And if you're building a hotel, you don't want to just build a hotel and then add the elevators later. We want to make sure You want to make sure that it's built with mobile responsiveness involved, SEO in mind, and of course ADA compliance. So I know I'm getting off track here, but I just want to emphasize, if anyone here thinks, hey, you just put on a widget and everything's going to it's going to solve itself, this is just the icing on the cake. But having a website that's easy to read, it works for color, and more importantly, it's I don't know if this is a word, but navigatable without a mouse. That's a good sign. And how do you know? You just have to keep hitting tab on your keyboard if you're using a PC. And not much of a whole demonstration with the accessibility tool, but if you scroll to the left side of this tool, if you scroll down, there's the saturation. This is definitely helpful for those who are a bit colorblind or have vision impairments. This one's actually my favorite tool because I know some people who are colorblind, and this is very helpful for them. And of course, tooltips are good too. And what I like about the tooltip option is that for those who are visually impaired, they cannot see the images, but this tooltip would be a good example of what the person would hear if they were visually impaired. So if we go to a random picture, for instance, not sure if it's here, or we can just go to the about page. Yeah, the
Okay,
tooltips, that's perfect. We can go to, because there's a lot of icons here. So we got that handsome picture that's coming up, one of my favorite ones.
Oh, the one of
Uh,
Dad.
oh, pop is good. And right there. And you got the alt text there. And if someone were to use a screen reader that's built into their machines, there will be a voice that says, Jerry Clayton, COO, Community Pay It Forward. So anywhere you see the tooltips appear, that's what's going to be recited with that voice. And I can go on and on about alt tags for SEO, ADA compliance, and for other matters. But yeah, and for anyone here who's not familiar with ADA compliance, I insist you visit www.ada.gov. And again, that website is www.ada.gov. And
But do you
that
hear what you're saying?
I think it's a first concept because I have a whole warehouse of people. No, I'm just kidding, everybody. It's just an inside joke that we both have.
Yes.
But yes, uh,
There are a few people who are going to understand that joke, but believe me, it's sometimes look, we can actually say this right here, and it'll fit in with the joke, the inside joke. There are people who think that we made this up, that ADA compliance is nothing.
right.
And do me a favor and repeat those numbers that these lawyers are going to get you for again.
Great question. On average, your first offense, whether you know it or not, you could receive a lawsuit upwards from 53 to $79,000, not including the time that you're going to spend paying off these lawyers and attorneys and legal fees. And sometimes you have to travel to court buildings.
Yeah.
Up, looks like my Zoom just zoomed out for a second. Sorry about that.
Oh,
I guess I spoke too much. So I do want to emphasize it's an average of 57 to $73,000 for your first offense. Now I do just want to mention this, brother man. Now you might be thinking, well, if I get a summons, I could just fix everything and they can't sue me. Here's the thing. Not only you'll get the summons, you'll also get the screenshots included with proof of why it wasn't ADA compliant. And that's evidence. And if you try to tamper with evidence, then you better hide somewhere in queue because you're not going to run away from that defense.
and one of the worst parts about this, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but the money that these individuals sue you for, it doesn't go to the ADA. It doesn't do
No,
anything. It just goes into their pocket. These are lawyer. These are the lawyers that give lawyers a bad name. These are
yes,
the shysters of the world. These are the ones that are going, you know what? Got a quick buck. These people aren't doing what they're supposed to do. I can make, I see dollar signs. I hear my bank account ringing. We can do something about it. So, um, on average, what, how, on average, what do you insist that, or what do you suggest that people should have on websites when they come to you and say, "Hey Z, I need a functional but inexpensive website"?
WordPress all the way. And I don't believe in using cookie cutter themes and going on theme forest and forest themes, whatever it's called, monster themes. Those templates are made to look pretty when you look at it. But when you start adding content and you start hiring someone who's not really qualified to modify the site, it's like fitting a circle into a square hole. You're just going to have to squeeze it in there and make it look like it's going to work. So, but if you know what you're doing and you're ready to take your business to the next level, I definitely recommend WordPress. And for those who are not comfortable with coding, you can use website builders like Divi, Elementor, WP Bakery. But if you're brand new to building websites, I guess suppose you could use Wix or Squarespace. Mind you, it's not a good idea to register your domain name with Wix or Squarespace because if you register your domain name with a place like Wix, they pretty much have ownership of your domain name. So if you're looking for hosting, I won't say that company's name because in respect to your partners, you can always get your domains registered through a third party service and handle it there. But to answer your question, I already forgot what it was. The question was if the I would definitely look into WordPress first. And if you're new to website building, there's no shame in having a theme, a simple theme out there just to have your presence out there. But if you want to look more established and you are a nonprofit, a business owner, or an attorney, it's always good to hire someone. Sure, you can shovel your own snow, and I know how much you love shoveling in Colorado. Would you rather shovel the snow yourself and break your back, or hire some schlub to get their snowblower and blow your snow for half the fraction of the time it would take you to shovel one shovel at a time.
Yeah, don't
That
tell
makes
nobody.
sense.
Don't tell nobody. But that's why I fostered a child.
Lucky
So,
kid.
yeah. So, Z, what is one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they're trying to build their own website?
The biggest mistake, I think, is not registering their domain name before building their website. And I've seen it happen in many times. And making sure that your domain name is registered under your name instead of somebody else's. And as I mentioned before, there's going to be lots of people out there that will say, hey, I could build you a website. We have a staff of people, or really Fiverr, it's going to build the website for you. They register the website, they take care of the hosting. I would advise against hosting, even if it's a friend or family member that's hosting or registering the domain name, it's always a good idea for you to register the domain name wherever you do it. GoDaddy, SiteGround, Bluehost, or one of your verified partners. Uh, and it's tax deductible because it is a business expense or a nonprofit expense. But don't take my word for it. Talk to your accountant or bookkeeper or CPA. So the biggest mistake is not registering your own domain name.
And um, what about when you build a website? Do you you and I don't know exactly what the term would be that, but do you make sure that the repairs or the website's kept up, or and I know that you do something that's very unique to website building. You offer training sessions with your websites. You teach people how to maintain their websites.
I'm glad you brought that up, Zach. You're absolutely right. And I appreciate you saying that it's unique because I wish everybody would do this. And yes, it's called Z Maintenance Plan. And what that is I will show them how to update the site, have video recorded sessions on making those changes. And it's not to say, look, I'm going to show you this once and never bother me again. Maybe there's a time, maybe down the road, you want to learn how to do this yourself. It's good to have a record of yourself asking, oh, how do I change the phone number? How do I update this image? What if I want to create a new page or a blog post? So it's, I don't want to call it its Z maintenance plan, but it's a service that I provide. But I find it's very helpful to video record those sessions for their staff, themselves, and it'll keep me on my toes if I make any mistakes.
We absolutely adore you here at
Thank you.
Community Pay It Forward. You are one of our platinum partners. You are one of
Honored.
where you honestly are one of my dearest friends in the world. And you know, I do. It's still ironic that it's taken this long. You know, we add videos to the website all the time, and we're like, how come we don't have Z's up there yet? You know, I mean, why haven't we done Z interview? You know, we've always got to throw in the Z thing, so that's it kind of catchy. Let's be honest here. So, but so you know, we needed to get this one done, but uh, you and I are also working on a couple other things for uh, let me before we get into this, I need you to tell me, why is it that it was so important for you to join Community Pay It Forward? And the reason I'm asking this is because I love it when you say it. And you are one of the biggest advocates for what we're doing. And I think that the story that you tell really is telling. And I know that just didn't come across right, but it's really telling. And for me, it's heartwarming because I know that you are in it to end some of this stuff. But why was it so important for you to join Community Pay It Forward?
Thank you, Zach. And I want to make it very clear that you're not my friend. You're my brother from another mother. And what you've done for me has been so great for introducing me to lots of nonprofits and those who are involved with our U.S. veterans that are often ignored. So to answer your question, why it's so long to do this interview is because of all the referrals that you've been giving me. And I'm certainly very, very thankful for all the referrals and all the people that say, hey, you know what? If you help me out, I'll mention your name to a couple of people. Even getting started on this website, you've been mentioning my name like I'm just this important person, and it really means a lot from one Z from another Z. It's nice that we can keep the good letter of Z here. And I have to mention, not to get off topic here, what I really like about uh, the community pay it forward, the name says it itself. I mean, of course, you're there, Zach, and it's about giving towards our communities that need our help. Sometimes there are people that want to start their businesses. They have everything in line. They have their accountants. They got their email stuff. They got their websites, but things happen in a split second. What I really like about the community pay it forward, besides you being a part of this, is that it provides an example of how the community comes together, whether it's for those who have survived human trafficking. And yes, it's a real thing that's happening as we speak, and the media is not talking about it for whatever reason, and is approaching. And I used to commute to Manhattan all the time, and I did see a lot of homeless veterans sleeping in subway cars, sleeping under benches. And there are parts of Manhattan or Brooklyn where they're replacing bus stops or places of sitting with these uncomfortable looking vents that are all twisted, and there are pieces of metal purposely sticking out. You can look this up. Our planet is slowly dying as we speak because of all the pollution and those that claim they are eco-friendly when they're not. Poaching is a big problem that we have. Our animal species are endangered right now, and due to the wildfires and people tearing down forests just to make for more malls. And what I really like about the community pay it forward, it's all about paying it forward, helping those who are less fortunate, and bringing awareness to those people who wouldn't be able to get their business or nonprofits out there, like myself. If it had not been for you, Zach, and Community Pay It Forward, I wouldn't be introduced to so many great people in your networks of connections. And what I really, really like about Community Pay It Forward, besides being here, is that it gives me purpose for why I'm doing this in the first place. And my chances of being alive is 1 to 10 trillion, as I mentioned before. But knowing that we can make a difference today to help our ignored veterans, help survivors of human trafficking. And notice I didn't say victims, survivors of human trafficking, helping our planet become a better place, or should I say, Z World a better place. And I'm not leaving until you get rid of me like a symbiote.
I don't plan on getting rid of you anytime soon. Let's put it that way. I don't have any. I don't. I. First off, you're too damn valuable to me. You ain't going nowhere, so you're stuck. Um, we've only got a little bit of time left, but
Sure.
I wanted to go on ahead and bring this up. You mentioned it. You and I, one of the reasons why we clicked so much was our dedication. We are both patriots, and we both love
Yes.
and respect everything that our heroes have done for us. Yet they, at times, are forgotten, and we together are celebrating the next month, a little over a month. We're celebrating a couple different veteran moments, and one of them, the first one is going to be October 26th, which is Day of the Deployed. This is something that we at Community Pay It Forward have done for a long time. And what we're going to be doing for the next couple of weeks is we're asking people to not, to get together and put together a box. Just go out, buy some shaving cream, buy some, deodorant, buy some books, some jerky sticks, some nutrition bars, comfort things, comic books for these, because you got to remember these are still kids. These are things that
Yeah.
they like. You know what? Think about what you used to like as an 18-year-old. Put together a box like that and then call us. Send us a message and say, do you have somewhere for us to ship this box? We'll give you a name, and you can take and send it to these kids who are deployed. We believe in Red Friday, which is remember everyone deployed. We beg for you to wear red on Friday. You always see me wearing red on Friday, and that's to remember everyone deployed red. So you can pick up a Red Friday shirt that is put together by Z World Webs and Community Pay It Forward. Right on the website, you just go to our Mall in One, our shop, and you can take a look at the shirt. You can order it straight from there. It comes to you, and when that happens, you can put we get a portion of that shirt back. You tell us where you want a portion to go, and it's all about this. The other thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting together a veteran friendly uh, um, catalog of businesses, veteran owned, people who do special things for veterans. We're going to be putting that together, and then we're planning on releasing that on the 11th for veteran, or I'm sorry, on Veterans Day is when we're planning on releasing that. So just remember, if you know a company that is veteran owned or specialized towards helping veterans, this includes service community, the service community. We beg you, get a hold of us. You can either call Z World Web or get a hold of Z World Web. And Z, what is your email?
Great question. My email is zyasin at zworldwebs.com. And if you'd like to book an appointment with me, you can scan the QR code. Big shout out to Trevor Gibbs creating this wonderful QR code. And if you do scan this QR code, you will be sent to a custom landing page provided by Select Services LLC. Selective Services, oh, no, Select Services LLC. And I just want to mention that I I didn't website. We build a website, brother man, because if you left it to me, you would just see this giant rectangle in a white box or square box that just says website. And I could say this with proof. This website was made by love by me and Zach. And just to prove it, because we launched the website on February 14th,
Yes,
right on
yes, we
Valentine's
did.
Day.
Yes, we did. And then a couple days later, one of us was, well, both of us were sitting on the computer for 22 hours doing a silly dog. Uh, she's
What was the 22-hour event
Oh yeah, I
for? I
believe that was
wonder.
about I believe that was about veteran suicide. So that was
Oh,
February 22nd. Yep. And so this is a very veteran friendly conversation we're having. Oh, have you ever picked up a ball that a dog has just drooled on?
I have not, but
It was
oh,
just handed to me. Thank you much. Ah, wonderful. Oh, it smells lovely too. Anyway, I implore you, stay tuned, see what we're going to be doing because we've got a lot of things coming up for our heroes, for our community. It is a community that when you pay it forward, you know what? This is proof right here that you need to love somebody out there because somebody out there loves you. Here are two guys that together we're hoping to help you help others. So, Z, I want to thank you very much. Please give them your information, your contact information one more time.
absolutely. And I just want to mention this. If you decide to move forward with my services, I will donate $150 towards a nonprofit of your choice through the Community Pay Verified Partners. So, and I think this is another great platform that you have here because when you're shopping with us, you're helping somebody else with helping their business. And whether it's paying for their cars or paying their bills or helping with their nonprofit. So that's the other thing I like about Community Pay It Forward is that when you're helping someone like myself you're also helping somebody else. And Stephen Covey always mentions if you have a win-win situation, it's an effective way of living. So if you'd like to get in contact with me, as you can see over here, you can go to www.zworldwebs.com. You can just visit the Community Pay It Forward website that Zach and I had created. It's www.communitypayitforward.us. And I have to say, thank you. I'm very humbled to be here, and I can't wait to see what happens. And you definitely left a legacy here, my brother.
Well, you know what, brother man, like I said, it's always a pleasure. I'm glad that we finally got this done. But anyway, Z, I thank you for joining us today. I'm glad that we finally get this done. We got to converse and we got to have a little bit of fun without doing a lot of work. So, that's but we're gonna have to let our 6 IT staff rest for a little bit, and but you know that's the way it is. So, but thank you very much for joining us, my friend. I would like to please make sure that you guys visit zworldwebs.com, see what he can do. Come to communitypayitforward.us, look at the great work this man can do, because he can turn he can, believe me when I say this, he can turn a disaster into a masterpiece. So please make sure that you join him, see what he can do. So thank you, Z. I appreciate it, brother.
Thank you. Thank you, brother, man. Good night.
Hey everybody! Once again, that was Mr. Z, great friend of mine, the web builder extraordinaire. I want to let you know I've been kind of watching what's going on here in my laptop. I'm people just show up. But we're kind of watching here. According to some of the stuff I'm seeing, it looks like we already know that Ian has hit the ground. But it looks like it may be dropping to a 3, which is a heck of a lot better than it was doing. We all know that at one point in time, it was darn near a category 5. So I definitely like 3 much better than 5. So good news there. So little bit less is a lot better news. Let's put it that way. So this does not mean that things are not being damaged, because things are still being damaged. They're still talking. I mean, you're talking a matter of 20 miles per hour winds. So you're still talking winds over 100 miles an hour. As I said, I think the worst wind I've ever been in was like a 38, 39 mile an hour outside of tornadoes. Please give me, outside of a tornado, it's been around 36, 37 miles an hour. And those suck. I'm telling you right now, those suck. I used to work on it with a truck that had a crane on it, and I'd swing trash cans around, and it was like flying giant metal kites. Okay. 37, 38 miles an hour sucks. Imagine doing that times 3. All right. 4. And that's what people are dealing with. Just the pictures are horrendous. Here are some facts that were just reported on this. One that, when this just kind of proves that when things go bad, things go bad. On the east side of Florida, where Ian's not hitting, they've got tornado warnings. Really? Hurricane's not enough. We're going to throw a tornado in there as well. Awesome. This one is devastating because, this is just hard to say. It's hard to hear. Over 800,000 homes in Florida right now are without power. And in Tampa Bay, you've heard of the water surge. Water comes in, water goes out. Tampa Bay, their water is down. The surge out, their water is down by 7 foot since this began. So you had an individual who was standing on a dock, and you could see all the barnacles that were about, there was like 7 foot of barnacles there. And that's just from the water that has went out and is going to be coming back in. That water, when it comes back in, it's dangerous because it's not, think about when you're in a bathtub and you jump into a bathtub. Kids, that's this thing that you put water in, and you actually used to sit inside, and instead of showers, just for you kids who don't know what a bathtub is. Anyway, you take and you sit, and if you sit down too fast, you had that water that went splashing out, and then when it came back, it was like a lot of force. That's still got to happen. That water is going to come back because it doesn't have anywhere else to go. That's the reason why tsunamis are caused. Tsunamis, sorry. That's the reason why there's more damage to come. A hurricane isn't one thing. It's a chain react. It's a bad thing. Okay, let's be honest. And bad things are never just one thing. It's a chain reaction of everything. So again, a lot of things happening. And you can help us out. You can help out JR from the Veterans Ranch because they're going to be doing a lot of things. Couple ways to help out JR from the Veterans Ranch directly for his hurricane relief. Right here, my little friend, the QR code. You know how much I love my QR codes now. This little fella here, when you go to it, it's shop, click, and pick. You shop with any of our partners, you click a picture of the proof of purchase, and you attach it to that form. Our partners agreed to give Community Pay It Forward a referral fee. We will be giving 85% of that referral fee straight to JR and the Veterans Ranch for hurricane relief. JR is not putting this money towards the Veterans Ranch, and that's hell. Even if he did, it goes towards something. Veterans Ranch focuses on equine therapy. So even if he did, that's something great that he's doing, but that's not what he's doing. He's putting it towards helping elderly veterans rebuild their lives after this storm. This storm's not even close to being over. There's still a lot of damage that's going to be done. If you want to deliver cash, donate some cash. And please, at the time we started this show, there was $50 donated. Let's get that number up. Come on, folks. Something happens anywhere else in the world, and we're all about it. We're all about donating, giving away money. This is our country. Let's get some money towards JR so he can help rebuild these veterans' lives, help them out. They're elderly veterans, World War II, Korea, the elderly Vietnam vets. Let's get money to them. Let's get this money to JR. The money's, it's all going to be very out there. You're going to be able to see where the money goes. You're going to see how it's been spent. It's very transparent. All you got to do is go to www.givesendgo.com. givesendgo.com/the Veterans Ranch. givesendgo/the Veterans Ranch. When you watch this again, it is in the comments. You can find it right there. Just click and, do you give a buck? Today's the day to give a buck. They need your help badly. This is ugly. One other option that you can help us help them, and that's by donating to Dare to Care, Community Dare to Care. And if you donate using this job form right here, you will help us send clothing, housewares, probably not furniture unless we get a lot of money, and then we'll send furniture. If we've got it, they need it, and we can send it to them, we're going to send it to them. So please help us send stuff that way. We've got an abundance of stuff that our community has donated to us, and their ask was very simple. Get this on the backs of people who need it. Get it into possession of people who need it. Folks, Florida needs this. Help us get this stuff there. Once again, this is to use the program, Community Pay It Forward program, to help the Veterans Ranch Hurricane Relief Fund. The scrolling on the bottom, this is for money going directly to them to rebuild. GiveSendGo.com, the Veterans Ranch. GiveSendGo, the Veterans Ranch. The one that's stagnant, the one that's sitting still, is to help us send stuff to Florida. Clothing, housewares, toys for kids, school supplies. We need your help. Let's help. We ask for your help. So we've got one more video. This one is extremely exciting to me because this is a brand new partner. He signed with us last week. Wonderful program here. Okay. COVID did a lot of damage. COVID is still doing a lot of damage. Every day, there are small businesses that are shutting their doors because they can't come back. COVID put a lot of businesses in the red because even though they were there for people, people weren't coming in, people weren't shopping. My friend, Larry Goldstein, he can help these businesses that were functional during COVID, that opened their doors during COVID, that kept W-2 employees during COVID. Larry can help you get money. We're not talking $1 or $2 or $3. We're not talking, you send me $50, I'm going to get you 45. We're going to let him explain it. Once again, my name is Zach with Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels. We'll be right back, and then we're going to be playing this wonderful, exciting for me video from Larry Goldstein. We will be right back. It is finally time for the 5th annual chili cook-off and toy drive. We're so excited. Can't you tell? How you doing, Zach? I'm here with my brand new platinum partner, which I am so excited about this because you know what? This gentleman is taken and he has put all of his faith into what we are doing. And that's one of the things that we love to do here. Appreciate all of our partners, but when somebody takes and they step up and they go, you know what? I love what you're doing. We want to support you. We want to make a difference. We love everyone, but Larry, I cannot thank you enough for doing just that. I'm here with Larry Goldstein, and he's got some great news for business owners. Just a little bit of a clue on what's going on. Larry, tell us about this one that you're working on now. How much is this person potentially getting back?
I have a restaurant who has 4 stores, and it's looking like it's going to be close to $2 million.
And how much did it cost them to contact you just to find out?
Nothing, not a penny, not a penny up front, not a penny to get him qualified. And he has the option that once he's ready to be sent and that it's totally approved, to pay a discounted rate of 10%, or we all wait until he gets his cash and it's only 15%.
So, in other words, he never pays you a dime. The government, you're taking what you get for them.
Yeah.
They don't ever have to pay you a dime. You just take a percentage of what comes back to them.
Right. Yeah, it's money out of what they get. It's not the government. This is actually an IRS program. IRS is actually not a part of the government. But
no, they just act like it. They're
that's for sure.
all right.
Well,
We already talked about no government talk, so we're not gonna go there. But Larry, is you're in Arizona right now, and things how are things going there in Arizona? Are you guys coming back? Are you seeing more people out and about, walking around? Are you able to go to places and talk to people again, or is it still pretty locked up there?
Well, this one gentleman is that we're looking to get about $2 million, a local guy. So he's a local business. And I've had the pleasure of eating at his restaurant like 4 or 5 times during this process. So yeah, life's getting back to normal. But businesses have been stung. And for once, the IRS of all places actually has a program where 7 out of 10 approximately businesses with W-2 employees can qualify for money, and potentially a lot of money.
There's a lot of people that were told by people who are quote unquote in the know that they were told that they don't qualify for this, but they should really check with you, right?
I've had those run into people like that were told by their CPA they're not going to qualify. It's worth the conversation. It's worth, again, I can spit out the ways really quick, the manners, how you can qualify. There's multiple ways. One of the ways is if you had the nerve to start a new business during COVID, after February 15th of 20, you can qualify for money just for that. If you had supply chain issues, you can qualify for that. If you were shut down fully or partially due to a government mandated shutdown, you can qualify. And then the big money is if you take your receipts from 2019 quarter by quarter, not the whole year, and compare them to 20 each quarter. If there was a 50% drop in any quarter, you can qualify. You do the same thing, taking 19 first 3 quarters and compare it to the first 3 quarters of 21. If there's a 20% drop, you'll qualify.
So they're actually and I don't want to say awarding because awarding's not the right word. They're trying to help these businesses survive by even dropping the percentage in 21. So they're
again, I didn't create the program, but
right.
It's one of the main purposes of this is for business owners. Again, W-2 employees, unfortunately, 1099 do not count. W-2 employees hit the bullet, paid money out of their pocket, and worked hard to keep their people on staff and keep their people surviving. So it's a righteous program. There are other ways, again, besides that, but that's one of the big keys behind it.
One of the things that I really enjoyed when I created your video, and we're going to be playing your video during this interview. We're going to play your video right after this interview is finished. But one of the things I really love talking about is I love the way that this is going because you're awarding people who are able to, like you said, bite that bullet, bite that financial stress. They're really awarding people with that because they did the right thing and they kept people hired. I understand not everybody could do that. I mean, I'm not naive. I understand not everybody could do that. But these people who knew that there was a struggle, but they kept going, they're able to be awarded now and they're able to be treated like they are. And let's be honest, companies that kept people on, they're superheroes. You know, so I mean they truly are. They're our version of superheroes right now.
Well,
So approximately how much, and I know that this varies from situation to situation, but approximately how much are people getting per W-2 employee?
well, by rule, you can get up to 26 grand per W-2 employee, but it's all depends on, again, your payroll information, your 941 information. Again, there's lots of factors that go into the calculations, which I don't do myself.
Right.
That's for the computer nerds to deal with. But as long as your documentation is in, we need your 941s for 19, 20, and 21. We need detailed payroll information, gross for 19, 20, and 21, and let the team do their work. Again, I've gotten small people with only a handful of employees, 30, 40, 50 grand. I've gotten, medium-sized businesses like a restaurant with like 30 employees is getting like 380 grand. And now this one big guy who has, four restaurants, like 150 employees total. It looks like he's going to get close to $2 million.
That's just that's amazing. I mean, it is kind of neat after all the years of bashing that one lovely organization that we were talking about, that now they're finally doing something that is really going to help keep some of our small business brethren alive. Does it matter? And I know that like, are the ultra big guys getting the same thing as the small guys?
Not the ultra businesses, the businesses over 500 employees don't qualify.
So see, that's even better. Okay, yeah, everybody should deserve, but yeah, knowing that businesses like those big ones are not benefiting off this, I think that to me that makes it even a better thing, that what, you're really trying to help. What we always do, Larry, one of the things that we've discussed is that we love watching the small guys grow from nothing to something. And that's one of the things that we're trying to do really hard here. So, I mean, I love it. What do people need to do to get a hold of you to start this conversation? And again, there's absolutely no requirement. There's no you don't have to sign your life away or anything. This is all, let's have a conversation. Let's see where we sit. If I can't help you, I can't help you. If I can, we'll get ready to, to support your business even further.
Well, no contract is actually signed until you're qualified. We'll do all the work. If you don't qualify, you don't qualify. We bite the bullet, and then again, if it costs the company a few bucks, so be it. It's about helping people because, again, the majority of businesses do qualify. It's just a question of how much they'll qualify for. Again, the stats are 70%, but I believe it's a little higher. So they call me, we'll speak on the phone. I can also, through your site, you'll have a site that they can go to and they can do the application. Again, free of charge. You can also put it on test mode so you can play around with it and see the different scenarios. It'll ask you about the amount of employees you've had in 19, 20, and 21. It'll ask about, obviously, how business went, if it dropped in, your gross receipts dropped, but it'll take you to where you need to go. Again, if it has to discuss supply chain issues, mandated shutdowns, the site is awesome. So once you do that pre-qualification on the site, even if you didn't call me before, one, get notification. I follow up with everybody to ensure that everything's done properly. Then they upload their 941s, they upload their payroll information. The communication is incredible. Uh, I've gotten people qualified, just got a small guy qualified in 3 days after he got him his information. I mean, that's incredible. We say 1 to 3 weeks, but it's going faster and faster because, again, the main company I'm associated with, we're over $2.5 billion we've gotten for people so far. So
That's
it's a great
billion with a
process.
B.
With billion with a B.
That's fantastic.
Yes, yes. So again, it's worth the conversation. And as you know, I mean, both of us, we got together because we're both in business to help folks.
Yeah.
And again, there's no thoughts of any money. So I don't want even people to even worry, oh, what's the catch? There's a catch. There are no catches. Talk to me. Let me see if I can help you. If I can't help you, I can help one of your friends. And then
Yeah.
obviously all of us get together with the money we make, get from the IRS, and we help support you a little more for all your righteous work. This is the winner for everybody.
Yeah. And once again, you know what? Larry throws us a referral award for you using him, and we turn around and we give 80 to 85% back to a cause that you love. So imagine this: you call Larry, you have, we'll say, 10 employees. He gets you a couple $1,000. Doesn't cost you a penny. Plus, you get to support a cause that you love that has asked us for help. It is, I mean, it's just the whole sound of that to me, Larry, sounds fantastic. You're not only supporting yourself as a business, but we're also going to give to somebody else who needs help. I just think it's a way that you can really support the people that you love in your community. And yeah, it's the reason why this business was created, and it's a reason why people like you and you and our other partners are going to make this successful, because we're able to help other people while we're helping people. That's it's a circle of good. um I have to bring this up because it's important to me, as just a patriot. You are a veteran.
Yes, sir.
Can you?
I got the pleasure of serving under President Ronald Reagan in the early 80s. Spent my whole tour over in West Germany, which doesn't exist anymore,
Right.
guarding the wall, which obviously very few tried to get over because there were serious consequences if they did. And yeah, it was an honor serving under a great president like that. So plus I got to see the world. It was
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw quite a bit of Europe. So it was, and I think every young man should serve his time in the military. It's
I've told now all three of my sons, with Andrew joining our family, that that's one of the things that I really regret. And it's kind of funny. I didn't want to join at the time because I didn't want to get my hair cut and I didn't want to get yelled at, so I got married instead.
well,
Boy,
it's
that
all
worked out really well. Now I'm a middle-aged balding guy who's been married 3 times. So, funny story, and you and I never discussed this. So this is something that is really funny. When my dad served in 71, there towards the end of Vietnam, dad was in West Germany as well. Our apartment overlooked the wall. We could look out there and see into East Germany through our apartment. Somewhere in this vast house of ours, you got a picture of me standing against a plate glass window, and you can see over the wall. So I've always wanted to find an actual piece of the wall and bring it home and keep it, because of the history and me having been able to touch the wall, albeit as a young child. So, um, give me one of the things that that your service really you use every day. It really is something that you use every day. Uh, a lesson learned, something that was told to you.
pretty simple. If you fall down, get up.
I love that.
It's nobody else's fault. There's nothing else going on. It's you and you, and life is life. We're all going to have our struggles. I've had plenty. I know you've had plenty. It's what you make of it. And,
Yep.
Having a drill sergeant scream at me could have been what saved my life, because now wasn't afraid, or I was ready to do what I was supposed to do. And God forbid I never got into those situations. But life is life. Every day is a blessing. And you learn that, especially when you're talking about looking over in East Germany. And where I was was near Fulda, where we went to. It wasn't a wall; it was just barbed wire.
Yeah.
But there was actually a town on the other side in East Germany where they didn't have people there all the time because they were worried they'd escape. So they would bus people in and out of the city, of a small town. So what it does more than anything for any young person is the blessings of the United States of America are far more than most of us imagine.
Yeah.
Once you've seen, and East Germany isn't the worst. I mean, obviously places in Africa where people have shoes, don't have houses. I mean, whatever.
They steal your children and make them soldiers.
Well, exactly. So I mean,
they throw hands or they throw guns in the hands of 9-year-olds and who are brainwashed and killing their own family. And yeah, I mean, but I completely agree with you. You know what? There's certain things right now that are messed up in this country, but we still live in the best country in the world because we're allowed to say there's problems right here in our country. Other places, you get drafted into the military for opposing a war, not mentioning who, but so, we mentioned it once before, and I also want to thank you. You are a huge sponsor of the final 5th annual chili cook-off and toy drive. You have a history in which we're having a Texas Hold'em tournament. You have a history with dealing. I guess that really sounded wrong there, but yeah, yeah, you got a history with dealing. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Yeah, you spent some time in Vegas learning.
after I got out of the service, started college again, and it wasn't for me. And I was talking to a buddy of mine who happened to live in Vegas, and he's just chatting. He goes, "Man, he wanted me up there because he's my buddy, but he said to me, why don't you just come up here and be a dealer?" And I was like gaming and stuff, and
Yeah.
wow, that sounds awesome. I literally dropped my classes that day. I was in the car the next day. Yeah, signed up for dealing school, and I was learning blackjack, roulette, and craps. And once I got to the craps, it was because craps is the most exciting game. Once I got the craps, that was it, and I was became a craps dealer for like 14 years in Vegas. I caught the end of old time Vegas, where they were giving away comps, where you didn't have to have points and all this stuff. Yeah, it was a good experience. It was a good experience, but
So us putting together our first ever tournament, give us a little bit of advice on what we can do to make it ultra successful.
just have fun. I mean, the beauty of what takes you a long time to realize, and it took me forever. Anytime you're gambling, expect when you walk in the door, you just expect that you've already lost. Whether it's money, whether it's charity, whether it's whatever it is, okay? You got a pocket full of money, say it's gone before you walk in the door, and now you cannot lose. Stressing gambling takes all the fun out of it.
Yeah.
Gambling money you can't afford to lose takes all the fun out of it. So again, I know your tournament is not big bucks. People are not going to hurt themselves. But my biggest advice for anyone who likes to go to any of the casinos is kiss your money goodbye before you walk in the door, and you can never lose. But now you're not afraid to play.
Yeah.
Sometimes people get on hot streaks on the craps table, on a blackjack table, and they're finally winning, and now they're afraid to go for it because all right, I finally won a little bit. You already lost. If you want to go for it, go for it.
Yeah.
And the best gaming lesson I can ever give.
You know, the funny thing is that my like the only gambling story I've really got is I was in Black Hawk, which is here in Colorado. It's our it's our gaming town, and we were in Black Hawk, and I went up there with my girlfriend, and because she really wanted to go, and I didn't even think about it when I went. When I got up there, I woke up the next morning and I was like going, "Oh no, I can't be here." And she was like, "Why?" Because George Brett is being inducted into the Hall of Fame. You know, my favorite player of all time is being inducted into the Hall of Fame. And she's going, "Well, they got TVs there." And I'm like, "Okay, great, fantastic." So I get there and she goes off and starts playing the coin machines and does all that. And I sit down, grab myself an adult beverage, and I'm watching the TV. And the guy goes, "You got to bet." And I'm like, "The hell am I going to bet that he says words? What?" And you know, you have to play a game if you're going to sit here. So I'm like going, "I don't want to do this. That's not me. You know, I'm not a gambler." So he goes, "Man, here, just take a roll of quarters. Every 2, 3 minutes, drop a quarter in, hit the button, you know, just do it that way." And this is back when you actually use quarters, not the
Yeah.
cards. And so I was like going, "Okay." So that's my story on I was forced to bet just to watch George Brett get inducted into the Hall of Fame. So but that's about my only gambling story. Hey Larry, let's get back to business real quick. I really want to make a point, really get the point across to people to, you know, hey, small businesses, if you struggled, but you did the right thing, make sure you call this man, because when you call this man, he can turn those struggles into finances that you probably need right now. I just read a story in the newspaper, you know, those things that are made out of paper that have news in them. Uh, I know a lot of people haven't even heard of those anymore, but about a 41-year-old restaurant here in Colorado that because of the pandemic, the person sold the building, they lost their lease, and they decided, you know what, we're not going to move again. This pandemic really kicked our butt, and they're closing the doors, you know, and that's just, I hate hearing these stories that, you know, having friends that had to shut down because of this, you know, it's just, it breaks my heart. And knowing that there are people like you out there, Larry, who are going to help them stand back up, I think I love the idea. Are
By the
there
way, I want to throw this at you again. You didn't mention this restaurant before. If they were around during COVID, if they sold like end of COVID, 21, whatever it did, they still can qualify for some money. So I mean, in fact, I got a bakery right now in California that sold their business. I think it was second quarter of 21, and they're still qualified for money. So
well, I will see if there's any contact information. I'll try to reach out to them and let them know, because that would be, you know, I mean, maybe we can get them to change their mind. This is a very popular place. Maybe we can get them to change their mind and change their fortune. But is there
that would be incredible.
Yeah, that you know, that would be a success story that we could all be extremely proud of. You know, hang our hats on that. Um, is there a minimum of a number of employees you have to have to qualify?
Not for us. I mean, some of these companies want, because they want to make the big money.
Right.
Give me one W-2 employee. We'll try to get them whatever. If it's a few grand, it's a few grand. Family members don't count. Owners don't count. But besides that, if they have W-2 employees, from one to hundreds, let's see what we can do. Like I say, I've gotten a lot of small people money. Again, I can mention a few off the top of my head. A small restaurant with 5 employees is getting like 44,000. So it's not chicken feed even for them. But again, some of the big ones, again, $300,000-$400,000, and once this one for $2 million gets done, it's insane.
What the hell can you do with $44,000? Sheesh. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
That's-
but this guy again, a bit, restaurant's probably the toughest gig out there.
Yep.
Their margins are so small. And this guy was struggling, and he was actually referred to me by his CPA because a lot of CPAs don't do this. Some CPAs don't even know about it. So I get referrals from CPAs. Um, I get referrals from business brokers. I get anyone involved in businesses. We can help a lot of people. And again, we're not selling them anything. I'm not asking them for anything except to work with me until we know they're getting money.
And so, you just said it. There's nothing there is no loss for them, is there? Absolutely no loss. No matter what, even if they don't qualify, it's just, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. But it was a pleasure working with you. There's there's no catch to this.
None.
All
None.
right.
Again,
Larry, give
they're
us
not even signing. They're not even actually signing any contract until we got them qualified. I spend all day on the phone talking to people, and it does break my heart when I tell them, yeah, I don't think you're going to qualify. People with 1099 employees still call me saying, hey, maybe I can. If you don't have W-2 employees, you will not qualify. 1099s unfortunately do not count. Because again, a lot of it's based on the payroll tax that they're sending you.
okay,
So,
but it's not going to stop you from talking to them.
no, everyone deserves a conversation. No.
Uh,
I mean, they might have a buddy that needs help that has no clue. So,
That's
I
right.
mean, friends like to help friends if I can't help them, unfortunately. In fact, I got another one down in Phoenix where I couldn't help the son, but the mother has a place. And wow, we're helping her. And I mean, she's a tough situation. Her husband just passed away recently. And so she's like, lost because husband took care of all the books and all this. And I'm talking to her new CPA and her new bookkeepers, and she's gonna get, hopefully 30 or 40,000, which to her is $1 million. So again, anyone, big, small, whether I make a lot of money or not, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm helping people that deserve it. I mean, that's all there is to it. For once, the IRS is doing something right.
Yeah,
You know,
they're not calling you going, hey,
And I just want to mention that because people know about the PPP loan that a lot of people got that was sponsored by the Small Business Association. This is again sponsored by the IRS. It's not publicized like PPP. It's not as easy to do as PPP. But again, the IRS is in business to take your money, not to give it. But
and
they have to-
even though it's not as easy as the PPP loans, it doesn't matter to the store owner. They're not the ones doing the work. It's you guys.
as long as they just work with me, let's get the right documentation, the proper documentation, because obviously we're dealing with the IRS, so we're very anal about getting the perfect documentation before approving and going forward. So yeah, I mean it's done right. I mean, again, they're 941s, their payroll information, and then if anything else we need, we'll be on top of
Well, you can always take, and one of the best ways that you can get a hold of Larry is on his landing page right here on communitypayitforward.us/ERC specialists, Larry Goldstein. And Larry, your phone number is 602 989 4200.
it. Correct.
Okay, so once again, that's 602 989 4200. You can get a hold of him at LarryGetYourCheck.com.
Larry, get your ERC check.
Oh, ERC, I'm sorry about that.
That's right.
Yeah, I guess right there is and the website is getyourerccheck.com. So,
Right.
once again, we are very, very, very excited to introduce you guys to Larry. Please, if you know a small business that struggled through COVID, if you know a medium business that struggled through COVID, make sure that you tell them about Larry. Tell them about Larry. Let's help them get some money, and then we can help other people when we do this. Larry, one more time, can you give me your phone number, please?
602-989-4200.
Well, I want to thank you, sir, for everything that you're doing. It's a pleasure to get to know you. It's a pleasure to work with you. I look forward to doing many, many things together. And you know what? Let's try to get this. I am going to reach out to this restaurant owner. Let's see if we can convince him to open back up. That would be something fantastic.
That would be
And
an incredible
yeah.
success story, without a
So,
doubt.
but you can work anywhere in the United States, correct?
Anywhere in the United States,
That's
everywhere,
I mean,
everywhere in the
it's
United
just
States.
it's great. Larry, thank you for your service. Thank you for your partnership. And most importantly, thank you for your friendship. Welcome to the family. I appreciate that very much.
Thanks, Zach. I appreciate it, man. I'm looking forward to helping a lot of people and having a lot of fun together.
Now, I do appreciate it. Now, I'd like to bring you to the video that we made for Larry. If you have any information, you can always give us a call, 970-909-0751. 970-909-0751. We'll hook you up with this man. You know what? Why not call a conversation, and that conversation can turn into money? Okay, maybe not the 2 million he was talking about, but you know what? Every penny you earn is a penny you didn't have before, is a penny that's going to help you retain these employees because you did the right thing. You stayed open during a very, very difficult time. Make sure that you call Larry because you know what? You don't know what your situation can bring you. So, again, thank you, Larry. I appreciate it, my friend.
Thanks, Zach. Appreciate it, brother.
We are now coming down the home stretch. This is just about it for our show for today. This is just about it for the show for the week. Pretty good show, I think. I know I enjoyed it. We ended up talking a lot. I know that we talked a lot about something that's not fun to talk about when it comes to the terrible things going on in Florida right now. But you know what? Remember, you can help right here. Our program. You just heard from two individuals, two of the many individuals that we work with, that every time that you shop with them, they are going, you utilize their services, they're going to give us a referral fee. It's as simple as that. They're going to give us a referral fee. We're going to ask you who you like to support out of all the people who have given us or who have asked us for help. Right now, one of the people who have asked us for help is our buddy J.R. Smith at the Veterans Ranch. He's got a hurricane relief project going on. There's this little storm called Ian right now in Florida, and so it's doing some massive destruction there. They haven't been able to get to a lot of the places because of the dark, because of the danger. It's no longer light there. So, it's almost 9 o'clock there. So there's low visibility. Power wires in certain places were down. I just heard on the Weather Channel that a lot of the places have their power lines run underneath the city because of this thing. It's one example of technology catching up to catching up to the times. You're in Florida. This is one of the things that happens. My dog just scared the holy hell out of me. Oh my God. Damn, dog. So the secretary just jumped on me and scared me. But so that's really one of the ways that science is improving lives. Let's be honest here. A couple more things that we just found out. All right. Ian is slowing down. It's down to 115 miles an hour. Slowing down. It's now at a category 3. It started as a category 4, but it was only 2 miles per hour short of a category 5. So top speed was 155. It's moving at about 8 miles an hour. So imagine, just think about it when you're in a car and you're in a traffic jam and you're only going to 8 miles an hour. Imagine how slow that is. Imagine if something is blowing wind at you at 115 miles an hour at that slow of a speed. Okay. That right there is one way that you can know that, it's going to cause a ton of damage. The number has increased to 1,812,508 right now that have reported power being down. And even after the storm passes, the winds are still anywhere from 50 to 60 miles per hour, with gusts even hitting higher. So again, the storm is slowing down. I don't want to say the worst is over, but the worst is probably over. But that doesn't mean the damage isn't being done, because there's still a lot of damage being done. So again, when you lay your head down tonight, I ask you, please give a thought to Florida. Please give a thought to our friends, our families, our loved ones, people we don't even know, who are all going to be rebuilding for a long time now. Here in Colorado, we have forest fires that take out entire neighborhoods. Kansas, where I grew up, tornadoes were would take out small towns. We have the tornadoes here in Colorado as well. No matter where you're at, you've got some kind of storm pattern that affects lives. Cold snaps. This is another thing we got to watch out for, because you know what? These people in Florida have been hit at a time when, okay, it is Florida. It's not like Florida is going to end up with a, minus 15 storm or anything anytime soon, but still, winter's coming, and when it's always 80 degrees, 70 degrees is kind of cold, I guess. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But just remember, tragedy has struck a lot of families. There are a lot of families who are going to be suffering for the next little while. So anything and everything that you can do is appreciated by not only them, but everyone around them. Okay. My brother, my friend, my cohort, J.R. Smith, is helping elderly veterans dig themselves out of this storm. He needs your help. He sent us a message earlier where he was talking about they were shooting for $50,000 and they had a total donation of $50. www.givesendgo.com/Veterans Ranch. Once again, that's www.givesendgo.com/Veterans Ranch. Please, $1, $5, $10, $20. I hate to bring it up again, but you know what? When something like this happens in other countries, we're the first country. The generosity of our country is amazing, and you know, we all jump to help people. I don't know if it has anything to do with like the political state that we're in, and we know that Florida is one of the places where two of the more, I guess what I'll say is controversial individuals are. But if that's the reason why people aren't pulling out your wallet, shame on you. The people who are being infected right now don't give a damn who's living in their state. They just know that they're not going to be able to go home to the house that they were living in. They just know that they're not going to be able to go have the same kind of life. Their kids probably aren't going to be able to go to school for a little while. This is right after their lives have been upended for the last 2 years. These are people who are just looking for a little bit of normalcy, and we need to be there to support them. Please, please, pull out your wallet, go to your go to your computer, and if you want to just give money to the Veterans Ranch Hurricane Relief, all you have to do is go to www.givesendgo.com/the Veterans Ranch. www.givesendgo.com/Veterans Ranch. If you'd like to use the Community Pay It Forward program, we love you. We will be giving 85% of everything that comes through to, if you attach it to this QR code, we'll give 85% of whatever we get as a referral fee, as a referral award. We'll be giving it to the Veterans Ranch Hurricane Relief. One last thing. You want to help us send clothing, toys, and more? Please use this jot form below. It's all the time I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much for caring. Please, 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 please remember, nobody has to go it alone when we all come together. That's the first thing. Florida needs us to come together right now. Let's come together. Secondly, if you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. And that is so true right now. The people in Florida need our help. Let's help them. Last thing, folks, love somebody out there because somebody out here loves you. My name is Zach Clayton. I'm the president and founder of Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the PACT channels. I'd like to say thank you very much for joining me. We will see you next week. Have a great, actually, we'll see you on Friday. Bye.
Stepping
Right?
Stepping out of her fear, bring me home, out alone, show me the way. You wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.